I didn't want to do the NES version of Friday the 13th because everybody knows about that game. So instead, I decided to do Friday the 13th for the Commodore 64, since not a lot of people know about that game. Be aware that I had to struggle with Vice, the emulator in which I used to play this game, so now I have to use the numpad to move and a single button on my controller to do things. I'm pretty sure this is my fault because I have a lab-grown homunculus brain with the IQ of a retarded goldfish. So in this game you start off in a church, and there in this church I found what is either a lightsaber or a plastic no-no toy. Either way, I'll let your imagination decide on what's funnier, but, however, it's time to explore. And there I go, with my dildo of light in hand. I came across the axe, which I assume is the best weapon in the game to kill Jason with. How did I know that? Because I do. Sorry, Dodo. You were only funny just for that second. I have an axe now, and it's time to bust it down Bateman style. So one thing you'll notice is that not only does the music go all over the place, but the music is just your stereotypical Halloween music. It's weird sometimes, and usually doesn't fit that well. Oops, I forgot. Who developed this game? Well, Friday the 13th for the C64 was developed by a company named Domark Software, and this game was released in 1985, 4 years before the NES game that is not by Domark Software. Friday the 13th was published by Domark themselves and Bug Bite. Did you know this game also had a ZX Spectrum and Amstrad port? Okay, back to the game. You see this handsome black-cloaked man? Yeah, that's supposed to be our Jason Voorhees. For some reason, he looks like a 1950s greaser who would mug you out of nowhere instead of looking like Jason. Yeah, it took me a bit to realize too. Wanna know what else I didn't realize? How this game works. So basically, this game is like a pre-Among Us type thing, where Jason looks like any ordinary person. So how do you find Jason? Simple, just start beating and hacking random people to death. Duh! But, you know, you gotta keep as many people alive. So how do you know when someone gets killed? Well, when you're just minding your own business and suddenly you hear a deafening scream, that means you really gotta start stabbing random people like a British street criminal until you find 1950s greaser Jason Voorhees. Oh, by the way, remember how I talked about this game's soundtrack? Yeah. Oh, and the game can also jump scare you. Nice. So basically every time you kill Jason, you become a different person and everyone's alive again, and you have to keep as many people alive as possible and find who Jason is and kill him with either the holy dildo, spear, axe, or whatever. Oh, and also at some point during the game, this gory sprite work can appear. I couldn't get it to happen as I was playing this game, but this can happen. And honestly, pretty cool for 1985. With that being said, Friday the 13th for the Commodore 64 is a fine game. Nothing crazy, but I can't say it's a bad game either. Just an average 80s horror game with some flaws. That's all I got for today, and goodbye.